Hello everyone. Welcome to the episode 3 of Prep Shots 2.0. I hope the previous videos helped you a lot in improving your scores. Today we will be having Bala Sai Tarun with us, who have aced the CAT 2020 with 97.22 in QA, and he will be sharing his strategy and tips. Hello Tarun. Hello Tarun, how are you?
Uh, hi Vaibhav. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you very much. I'm good.
Yeah. Thank you for here to share your experiences and strategy for the CAT 2020. So my first question will be, what are the strategies that you have followed during the QA section in the examination so that the aspirants can also come up with their own strategies, as well as what is the selection of questions so that you can maximize the score while writing the examination?
Yeah, okay. Coming to the first part of the question, what is the strategy which I follow? And see, I would suggest everybody to remember that CAT is a paper where you don't have to answer all the questions. You're not expected to answer all the questions. So you are supposed to maximize your score within the time frame given, and don't try to attempt 100% of the question paper. So that was the first suggestion which I would give to everyone. And coming to the process of selection of questions, I followed an ABC approach. So I would categorize each and every question which I come across during the QA session. During the QA paper, I would categorize them as A, B, or C based on the time I think it will take for me to solve that question. So what I used to do is the category A questions are high priority. And these are the questions which are very direct and which you think will take less than 30 seconds to solve the question. So these are the high priority questions, and you're supposed to solve them as fast as possible. So that was the first thing I used to do. And then coming to the second part, the category B questions. These are questions which used to take me around 1 to 1.5 minutes. So I would categorize them as B part. Category B questions, and I would take up I would take up category B questions only after I completely solve the category A questions. So then coming to the category C questions, these are the third and the last priority in my approach. And these are the questions which take around 2 minutes or more than 1.5 minutes. And I would suggest you to avoid these questions until the last, and only if you have time, attempt these. So you have to attempt category C questions only and only after category A and B are completely solved. So this was the approach I followed.
Yes, Tarun. Even I think the approach is very good because you need to divide the questions and then solve the easy ones at first, because anyway the hard questions will be and the easy questions will be given the same marks in the examination. So I think the aspirant should be targeting the easy questions and the comfortable area of topics. So then only they could have gained the confidence as well in the initial stages of the examination. That's a very good approach. And coming to my next question, so I hope you are a working executive during the CAT preparation, or you are a student?
I was a working professional. I was working during my CAT preparation.
Okay, so my next question will be so how did you manage your time? Because as a working executive, you might be having a lot of work pressure as well as work related issues. So how did you manage your time for the CAT preparation, especially in the last few weeks, because which is very crucial for every aspirant?
Yeah. So for me, the approach I had was after I had a 5-day work, so Monday to Friday, and then after every day work, I used to sit for at least 3 hours every day in the evening, in the nights. So during these 3 hours, I used to solve these sectional mocks which you get. Like whenever you take these mocks, you also get these sectional mocks, right? So I used to solve those things based on individual sections, and they used to be short so that you can solve them. Like they used to be of 1 hour length, I guess, and you solve them and then you analyze them. So that would take around 2.5 to 3 hours, and I used to do that every day. And coming to the Saturday, Sunday, the weekends, I used to solve around 2-3 full length mocks and analyze them. So that was my approach, and I also would suggest everybody to approach mocks very judiciously because they are really important, and analyze the mocks.
Really important.
Yeah, they're really important, and don't just take mocks, analyze them properly, see where you're lacking, and then improve that area. Learn from your mistakes and try to correct them in the next mock. That's how I would go about it.
So from your answer, I would like to ask another question. So how did you analyze your mistakes? Can you let the aspirants know what the general mistakes that most people will be doing, because as you know, quant is a very vast syllabus, as well as it requires accuracy and speed to solve questions. Then only you will be able to attempt most of the questions, right? So during attempting the mocks, what were your mistakes that you have done, and how did you cover it and for the final examination?
Okay. Okay, some of the most important mistakes which I used to do is first and foremost avoid getting stuck in a question. I mean, like that was one of the biggest mistakes which I used to do. And if you're taking more than 1.5 minutes or to 2 minutes, more than 2 minutes for a question, it's time to move on. I mean, I know you've wasted 2 minutes on that, but it's time to move on, and it's not worthy to stay stuck on that question. So that is the first thing which I was trying to correct in every consequent mocks. So basically, I was trying to improve my my intuitiveness of finding out whether this question is solvable by me or not. So that was first approach.
The 10
first
seconds rule that everyone.
Yeah. So that was the first thing, and then second thing is when we are actually trying to solve the paper, when we are going really fast, we obviously have a 40 minutes time frame and it's really short. So during this time, we make silly mistakes. I try to avoid them. I really try to avoid them. So I went about. I mean, like what I did was I controlled my pace. Like you're not supposed to go too fast or too slow. Also, if you go too fast, you'll miss a sentence or miss a particular value, and you might make an error in the.
Yes, we might miss a few data from the question if we are too fast reading the question. Yes.
Correct. So pace yourself based on the. I mean, like there's some. See, for me, it was like this. Some concepts like modern math, I was really comfortable with them. So for that, I had to pace them. I could pace them very fast. Some questions like geometry, I had to pace them a little slower. Even though I knew the concept, I used to make a lot of silly mistakes during the calculation process, etc. So yeah, that's how it depends on it. It's tailored to your individual strengths, and yeah, pace yourself.
Yes, then we do always silly mistakes, especially in a hurry, which you said like in a fast pace. So it's always good to read the question thoroughly before you solve it, because the answer will be lying within the question. You might be having all the data and you might not be looking at it sometimes. That's very good strategy as well. And coming to the last few weeks, like let us say the last 1 week, people will be revising a lot. So during revision, compared to the other sections, QA is one of the sections which has a very vast syllabus, right? So how the revision for the last 1 week should be going on for them? Should they be learning more about concentrating on formulas, or they should be learning more about the mistakes in the mocks, or how should they revise?
Okay, so my suggestion in the last 1 week of the CAT is please don't study anything new. Like trust your preparation. You're prepared well till now, and don't panic and trust your preparation. So don't learn anything new and don't get confused. So my last 1 week, what I did was for QA was to collate all the questions all the mocks which I had given previously, and go through every question again. Like how did I attempt the correct questions? What was my strategy? What was my approach towards a question which was correct? And what was the mistake which I did in the question which was wrong, which was incorrect for me? So I revised all the questions once again, and I went through all of them. So that was one thing which I did. And the second thing is, when you're taking these mocks or when you're studying for QA initially, I would suggest everyone to have a small notebook to write important points, important approaches which you have taken, or important formulae, and write it down in one single place. And in the last 1 week, please go through them, because as you already mentioned, Vaibhav, QA is like very vast, and I think people should read it again, and that would be an easier way. Like it's your own handwritten notes, so it would be easier for you to understand and revise everything again. So that was my approach for the last week.
Yes, sir. We need to have a last minute preparation notes which we have prepared from the starting onwards, especially the formulas or some short tricks that it should be saving a lot of our time in quant, and we can spend the time in the other questions as well. So with this, we'll be ending this today's episode. And thank you, Tarun. Do you have anything to share with our aspirants?
Nothing much, actually. I would just say all the best, and don't panic. Trust your preparation. You'll do well.
Okay. Thank you, Tarun. Thank you for sharing your strategies and experiences about CAT 2020. I hope it will be very helpful for the aspirants and they will perform very well in CAT, and it will be boosting their scores. Thank you very much.
Thank you.